Hello everyone, it's Chatty Sparkly Runners with an episode all about marathon running.
But marathon running, marathon training is good for everybody.
Yeah, so it's suitable for all to watch,
Yeah.
But you will get some top tips at the end if you are actually going to do a marathon.
Because they're all beginning to be on, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
In September. And
there's a lot of talk about
London Marathon, Chester Marathon.
Yeah. But our tips
Marathon.
and what we're going to say is really useful for all Chatty Sparkly Runners, isn't it?
Yeah, because, well, let's get going.
Let's get going.
Let's start our marathon training.
Yeah. Can I say something first?
Yeah. I think you're going to anyway.
I'm going to say it anyway. I've been dying to say it. Just because you're a runner doesn't mean to say you have to run a marathon.
I've not finished a marathon.
No, I've never done a marathon.
You've never started one?
No, I've lost count of the number of times that people, when you start talking to them and they find out that you're a runner, they say, "Oh, well, have you done a marathon?" And I say no.
No, but I can say, no, I've not done a marathon, but I have done lots of half marathons.
Yeah. You shouldn't, basically, what I want to say is, you shouldn't feel that because you're a runner, you have to do a marathon. But on the other hand, if it's got to be something that really excites you, hasn't it?
Yeah, if it excites you and it's going to motivate you and you really want to do it for yourself and not for your friends in the office or where you work or whatever,
exactly.
then yeah, go for it. Yeah, there are certain things that we'll say in a minute that you will need to have to get up to in order to enjoy your marathon day, I would think.
Yeah, because there's no point in doing it if you're not going to enjoy it. If you're going to hate every minute.
Well, it's got to be a challenge.
Challenge that you enjoy, though.
There might be bits where you think, God, this is heavy going. I've got to get to the end.
Well, you know all about that, Colin, because you did try one.
Yeah, just the one I tried. I might try another one in the autumn, but no, I'm not talking about that now.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're set, you think you want to do a marathon,
and it excites you.
Yeah, it excites you. You've got something that you want to recommend to people.
I recommend if you're thinking of doing a marathon, the first thing you need to do is to get in your car and to have a look what it says on the mileometer, or even zero it. Drive 26 miles, get out, have a little bit of a walk, think, get back in your car, drive 26 miles home, and if you think it still excites you and you think it's a great challenge, go ahead and off you go, enter your marathon. I think you should have been running for a couple of years at least before you think about I would think 3 years of chatty running before you run a marathon. I mean, a half marathon I always think a half marathon's a great challenge, because
especially for Chatty Sparkly Runners.
Yeah, it's brilliant because it's going to take you 2 hours, 2.5 hours, which is what an elite man will do his marathon in. So really it's the equivalent of an Olympian doing a marathon, and it's a real challenge.
Back to the marathon then.
Yeah, okay.
There are people out there that are excited.
They're excited, they want to do it. Happy days. Yeah.
They're not even going to do your little challenge and drive, they're absolutely determined.
They know they're going to do it. Yeah, okay.
So let's give them some top tips.
Okay.
So that they get their training right.
Okay, so the first top tip is, and like I say, everybody who runs, if you're training for to run your 5k PB, or the fastest park run,
or you just want to get fitter,
or you want to get fitter, marathon training is the best thing you can do for you, because it makes you the fittest. And basically marathon training is chatty sparkly running. It's running a lot of volume at a nice easy pace, and there's lots of names for it: base building or aerobic running, you might see it in things. It's just perfect for you. Top tip number 1: how far is a good distance to train if you're going to think of running a marathon? I think,
well, you said how, in
yeah,
terms of how many miles in the week.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, and it's just a rule of thumb that I've learned over the years, that you'd be wanting to do, if you can run 26 miles in your running week and you can run non-stop for 2 hours, then you can run your marathon.
Yeah. You'll be able to finish the marathon and run it all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you feel
and
right.
There are people out there that don't want to run it all, that will run it. That's slightly different.
I'm going to walk because it's suddenly getting windy.
It is getting windy.
Okay, so the next thing is, what pace should your running be at? Well, we've answered that question. It's chatty running pace. So what is your marathon pace?
No, before you say about the marathon pace, we know of so many people, or examples of people that have trained for the marathon and they've actually run faster in their training runs than they do when they actually go and do the marathon, because they just go too fast.
Yeah, so
you've got to stay gentle.
You've got to stay chatty. So there's a sort of boundary at 4 hours. So if you're running a 4-hour marathon, if you think that your marathon's going to be 4 hours, then you're going to run it chatty all the way. The quicker,
4 hours or more.
Yeah, the length of time quicker than 4 hours. So if you're going to do it in 3.5 hours, you might be running it a bit breathy. But ultimately, everybody, their marathon running is slower. Their marathon pace is faster than their chatty running pace. So your chatty running pace should be slower than your marathon pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to be out for 5 hours and it's just chatty all the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no difference.
Tip number 2.
Yeah, okay, tip number 2.
Keep it chatty. You've got to do a long run, and your long run has got to be 2 hours. You can build up to 2 hours, but it's got to be 2 hours.
And we talked about this last week, didn't we?
Yeah, we talked about this last week, and it's got to be really gentle, because you've got to get your fat metabolism started, because you'll run out of fuel, you'll run out of glycogen if you don't get your body's fat metabolism working, and it will only get working if you run gentle enough. It's a big help to run over 2 hours. Yeah.
But you go up to 2.5.
Yeah, you go up to 2.5, and we said that we wouldn't do any more than 2.5. Which brings top tip 3.
Yeah, you do have to fuel on the marathon day.
Okay, yeah.
So you need to practice that. Can you just explain why that is? Because last week we kept saying, no, you don't need to eat at all on your
so if you
training runs. But it's slightly different when it actually gets to the marathon race day.
Yeah, because on marathon race day, you need to get as much fuel and keep your glycogen stores as topped up as you can. So when you see the Olympic marathoners, they go for their drinks. They'll have a sugary drink, they'll have a carbohydrate drink to keep their carbohydrate stores up.
Are we going through? Okay.
Yeah, so the so what you need to do, you might want a couple of runs where you practice that, because people might have gels and it might not agree with them. But
so you need to know that what you're going to fuel with is going to work for you and not upset you.
That's right.
Upset your stomach. Yeah.
Okay.
So you do need to do that.
Top tip number 3, and it's a top tip for any race distances. You train where you are now, not where you want to be. So if you are going out for a marathon pace, it's not the marathon pace that you want to do in 24 weeks' time.
24 weeks is a long time, and you will
you're
get significantly faster. So
It's where you are now, so it's your marathon pace now, and basically it might just be a little bit breathy.
Yeah.
Might just be a little bit breathy.
I think I've seen marathon pace described in different ways, and quite often people describe it a bit faster than it should be.
Well, if you've driven the 26 miles in your car, you know how far you've got to run, so you know that it's not going to be that far. It's not going to be that hard.
You've got to be able to just about say a sentence, haven't you? It's your breathy pace.
Oh yeah, if it's part sentences, that's 1 hour pace. That's miles too fast.
That's where I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen that in articles.
not going.
Don't go there. Whatever you do.
That's not going to work. No. And then the last top tip for the marathon is it's about not going on what if your plan says to do something, because you've got it off the internet or from the London Marathon or something.
Because I mean, most people will have to do that, because it's a big thing training for a marathon.
Yeah, of course.
It's not something you can do by yourself without advice.
No, and they need a plan.
Guidance.
So what I'm saying is, your long run has to be relevant for your fitness, not for the plan's fitness. So when you do your long run, and you're going to work it up to 2 hours or even 2.5 hours, the same rules that we said last week must still apply. You've got to finish thinking you can do more,
Yeah.
and definitely you could have gone faster. And your marathon pace and your ability to do a long run in 24 weeks on is going to be massively more.
Yeah. And for anybody
Over 6
following
weeks.
the plan, you've got to be feeling based, and you've got to adapt it, and you've got to listen to your body and making sure you're recovering.
Yeah, and all
haven't you?
and
So
if-
don't stick to it and go out and do a marathon pace run if you haven't recovered from the run you've done before.
and the base training, the marathon training, shouldn't have repetition runs of 400 meters in it or
No.
tempo
Yeah,
runs
don't-
in it. It's just
don't do any
chatty
fast
running. It's just build up your chatty running.
There
That's
might
what.
be a little bit of that at the end of the
Yeah,
24
towards the
weeks,
end.
Towards the end, but you don't need to do any fast running.
Yeah, within 8 weeks of your marathon,
Yeah,
you might
at
do.
the
But
beginning.
right now, if you want to do an autumn marathon right now, and you're looking at 24 weeks, you're counting it back. You're just chatty, sparkly running. The sparkles, you can do 2 sparkles a week.
And just build up that chatty running.
Yeah, I think
It's
the big-
all about the volume that you do and not about the speed that you go at. I keep saying
absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
Questions?
Okay, good.
Yeah, so that's this week all about marathon training. So if you want to, we'd love to hear what your experiences of the marathon are. If you've absolutely loved it, what do you love about marathon running?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
base training's lovely, isn't
Do
it?
you
It's
love
not hard
it? Yeah,
training,
why-
it's just gentle
Lots
running.
of people do marathon after marathon. Why?
Yeah, yeah.
What really attracts you about it? And any questions you've got?
Big
if you're,
medals.
Yeah, big medals. Yeah. If you've got any questions, you are going to aim for a marathon, then let's post those questions. Don't forget to visit our website, chattysparklyrunners.co.uk. Join our Facebook group, and you can find all our videos on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, Facebook page or Facebook group.
Yeah, Facebook page.
You can share the videos from the page.
Yeah, do share everything round. Spread the word.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people out there that
We're after 3,000
We'll
plus
need a-
views.
need this marathon training advice.
Okay, see you next
We'll
week.
see you next week.
Hopefully the weather will be nicer.
Bye.